Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Crafty Beer Reviews. Today I am doing another how-to video and this is a special Halloween edition. So, this should be a really fun one for you guys to use at parties, whatever you have planned for Halloween. I think this should be a really cool thing. So we are actually doing some beer blending today. I know, complex stuff, right? So you're going to need a couple of things. You may want to write these down because it's a lot of stuff. Okay, actually, no, it's not. So, you're going to want a glass that you put your finished product in. You're going to want a pumpkin ale. You're going to want an Imperial Stout. And you're also going to want some sort of device for measuring. Now, I actually have this pint glass that has ounces measured out on there. So, that makes it really, really easy for me to figure out. But if you don't have a pint glass with measurements, basically, this is a really easy one to do, so don't worry. Now, disclaimer, I can't take full credit for this idea. The reason I actually had this idea is I was at the Fatheads Production Tap House a few weeks ago, and when I was there, the waitress said that one of her favorite drinks was mixing Sibertooth with just a little bit of their Hippie Sippy. Now, unfortunately, Fatheads doesn't bottle their Hippie Sippy, so I thought I would use another local Ohio Imperial Stout. So, we actually have two local Ohio beers. We have the Fathead Spooky Tooth, and we also have the Thirsty Dog Siberian Night. I figured, go local, support the craft beer scene. So if you guys can do it, I would also highly suggest using some local craft beers. So, guys, let's go ahead and get right into this. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is we're going to pour in the pumpkin ale first. Now, you're going to want the majority of this to be the pumpkin ale because you don't want the Imperial Stout to cover up too much of it. Now, we're going to try, and I'm going to try and pour this without too much head because that's going to obviously affect the measurements. You can pour it however you want, so that's cool. Now, the glass that I'm using to pour the finished product in is, if I can do this, can I get it? There we go. So, basically, this is 8 ounces of the Spooky Tooth from Fatheads, and then we're going to be using 4 ounces of the Thirsty Dog Imperial Stout. Basically, if you don't want to do, or if you don't have the room for 8 ounces and 4 ounces, really all you have to remember is you need 2 parts of the pumpkin ale, and you need 1 part of the Imperial Stout. I know, right? Math and craft beer. Sometimes it goes together, sometimes it doesn't, right guys? Yeah, so you just want to pour this in. Again, you don't want to have too much head just yet because that's going to affect, you know, the obvious measurements here. And there we go. Alright, so we have the pint glass full here that reads at just about 12 ounces exactly. This is a 16-ounce glass, so that should work. Now, I'm stirring it up a little bit, but once you actually pour it in, it'll be stirred up enough, so you don't really need to worry about that. As you can notice, the color has gotten quite a bit darker. I did not manage to get all of that in there. That's alright. That poured out in a pretty impressive head, I think. So, yeah. It's gotten quite a bit darker. It's not completely opaque, but yeah, definitely very, very dark brown type of color. Guys, let's go ahead and check out the aroma. Now that smells good. So, up front, you're definitely hit with those pumpkin pie spices. I get some cinnamon, nutmeg. I get some actual pumpkin in there, like kind of that fleshy, you know, gourd smell. Definitely getting the Imperial Stout. Now again, this is why I wanted it to be 2 parts pumpkin and 1 part Imperial Stout. The Imperial Stout's there, but it's not overwhelming because the big chocolate coffee roastness could really just overwhelm some of the more delicate things in the pumpkin ale, and we don't want that. So you can definitely get a little bit of that chocolate and coffee, but the roast really isn't in there too much. At this point, it smells a little bit more in favor of the pumpkin beer, but yeah, this smells very tasty. So guys, let's go ahead and try it out. Now that's nice. So right away, up front you're getting the pumpkin. I get a little bit of vanilla. Definitely get the spices, so like the cinnamon, the nutmeg, a little bit of allspice in there. Definitely getting some bready malt. Immediately about mid-palate is when the Imperial Stout hits. So you get some coffee and chocolate up front, and then it ends on this really nice kind of roasty smoke type of note. Very, very nice. Very, very roast heavy too, which I really enjoy. Leaves a nice kind of bitterness on your tongue as well. Yeah, that is tasty. So That combines the best of two worlds. Now, I know that there are plenty of pumpkin Imperial Stouts out there, but you know what? In terms of what I like, I think that blending them has definitely been the best that I've come, around to doing so far. I think it's the most enjoyable that I've had. So if you guys like this, please try it out. I will have the kind of quote-unquote recipe down below, but I think you guys can probably figure this one out. And of course, for a name, what am I going with? Well, since we have Spooky Tooth and Siberian Night, I was thinking Spooky Sibertooth. What do you guys think? I think it rocks. So, if you try this one out, please let me know. I hope you enjoy it for your Halloween parties or whatever else you have planned. And remember, guys, I hope whatever you're doing involves good craft beer. See ya.